Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go.
Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, back to boxing. Now, man, my boy Errol Spence Jr., man, exposes Bob Arum and Terence Crawford, but mostly Bob Arum in conjunction with Terence Crawford about the reason why he got the Pacquiao fight is because, Al Heyman was really trying to make that fight. And he basically said that Bob Arum stopped the fight from happening with Manny Pacquiao and Terence Bud Crawford. Now, this is a really big deal, man. People have been talking about this for a while now. And as soon as Errol Spence Jr. got the fight with Manny Pacquiao, he did one of the most savage things you could possibly do. He rubbed it in his rival's face and he said, hashtag blame Bob. And after that, man, Terence Crawford, you can only imagine the pain because he was trying to fight Pacquiao for over half a decade. He's been trying to fight Pacquiao for a while now, when Pacquiao was still signed with Top Rank, and that fight never came to fruition. That being said, Terence Crawford went to a car and probably cried. I can only imagine the pain. Now, since then, Crawford's basically said he's done with Bob Arum and he's gonna move on. We don't know where he's gonna move to. Some people say maybe Matchroom, maybe the Zone. Who knows? There's so much money in boxing right now. People like Triller are coming into sport. There's millions being thrown around left and right because everyone's trying to get a little piece of the boxing world. Because boxing, at the end of the day, is entertainment before it's a sport. It's it's an entertainment sport. So that being said, that's why you have fighters like Floyd Money Mayweather and Jake Paul happening, because they both together make an exciting fight, not just for the fans, but just for entertainment purposes. If you know the outcome or not, people just want to see one of those random fights. But that being said, man, Errol Spence Jr., man, he has been unifying the division left and right. First with former WBC world champion Sean Porter, he did unification with him, and now it looks like the WBA is going to reinstate Manny Pacquiao. So Errol Spence Jr. will have 3 of the 4 major sanctioned by world titles, which would make Errol Spence Jr., if he wins this fight, the IBF champion, the WBC champion, and WBA super champion. That being said, not only will Terence Crawford not get the biggest fight in his career, which is a legacy fight, which would put him in the history books, which would define him. These are the kind of fights people look back on. These are the fights like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hitman Hearns type fights. These are the fights where people will look back 50, 100 years from now and say, man, this is the fight that defined his career. This was the fight that made him great. He missed out on those, and it looks like Top Rank really has nothing to offer him at welterweight anymore. Now, Top Rank, they've been saying things like Josh Taylor might fight Terence Crawford, but the chances of that are highly unlikely. I really doubt that Josh Taylor is going to hop into 147 and that test the waters for at least 2 or 3 fights before he starts fighting someone like a Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford definitely has been in a rocky relationship with Bob Arum. They haven't talked for a while. At one point, Terence Crawford was suing Bob Arum because he wasn't getting these big fights he deserved, and Bob Arum was pretty upset about that. People were talking about that Kell Brook fight wasn't a big fight, and how we want these legacy fights, and that I guess they have something in the contract saying that if Terence Crawford don't get these big fights, that Top Rank has to pay him extra money. So that all came out, man. A lot of things came out with Terence Crawford and Bob Arum. And, at the end of the day, Terence Crawford is going to have to really choose his career over money at a certain point, because it's going to hurt your brand to the point where people are not going to watch you fight. Because Terence Crawford is one of those fighters who are so talented, who are so gifted, who are so dominant that, it's hard to watch him fight fighters that the fans aren't clamoring for. People want to see Terence Crawford fight outside of Errol Spence Jr. They want to see him fight people like Manny Pacquiao. They want to see him fight people like Keith One Time Thurman, the Sean Porters, the Danny Garcias. People want to see those kind of fights. You know, the Aaron Boots. You know, they want to see that kind of stuff. And Terence Crawford, not only has he been defending all of his titles, his title at 147, but he's been knocking out everyone in his title defenses. So the guy's a great fighter, but he's one of those guys who are so great that it gets redundant watching him fight guys that no one's really called for, solid fighters, but we want to see more. So at the end of the day, man, you know, my boy Errol Spence Jr. says blame Bob, and ever since then, Terence Crawford's career and his promotional outfit has been in limbo since then. And the crazy thing about it is, understand that Al Haymon is an advisor. He's not a promoter. You know, Errol Spence Jr., he doesn't have a promoter. Yet he's a bigger star than Terence Bud Crawford. You know, this is the awful job that Top Rank has been doing with Terence Crawford. They've been managing his career awfully. He's been getting paid, but he should be a much bigger star than what he is right now in boxing. He should just be a much, much bigger star. And, you know, there was points where people were telling him that, and he was saying things like Bob has a good heart, and we know Bob, he's a great guy. And that's only worked against Terence Bud Crawford. You know, Bob Arum has came out many times and said that he lost so much money on Terence Crawford that he can build a home in the Beverly Hills. I mean, Bob Arum has said he wiped his hands clean with Terence Crawford's career, and he's going to have to get other people to manage his career within his promotional outfit, so he couldn't do it anymore. This is what Bob Arum has said publicly. He does it all the time. And Terence Crawford just smiles. Mind-boggling stuff, man. Mind-boggling stuff. I mean, that money must be good he's getting from Top Rank, for sure. But anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about it, man. Terence Crawford, Bob Arum stops the fight with Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. Now my boy Errol Spence Jr. has the fight, man. Let me know how you guys feel. Let me know how you guys feel about Terence Crawford and where he's going to move from here. Wild stuff, man. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace. Geoboxing.